Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Another gorgeous day out. Keep saying I love waking up, seeing blue skies and sunshine. I'm not really sure where we're living right now, but it's been an amazing summer so far. I mean, given obvious circumstances, weather-wise, it's been amazing. It's too bad all the racetracks and the sporting events, and those facilities couldn't be open. It's ironic because I went over to a friend's house or a friend's restaurant yesterday called Raphael's. It used to be in North Boston, and then they moved about a year ago to Clark Street. Ralph and Julie Galuzzi, they own that restaurant. Just the just awesome, job that they're doing over there. They're struggling though because of everything that's happening with the town and the health department. What the state is doing to everybody. So Dorothy Carlone, I think it is, she invited me. She works for Ralph, so she had buttons made up called Mothers Lives Matter, which was really cool. And she's trying to push this very, very hard. And she invited me over there to grab those buttons, and then she had a couple of Trump buttons for me, vote for Trump buttons, which was awesome. So I put one of the Trump buttons on the mask that I was provided at the one facility that I was working at yesterday. Um, and then I put the other couple on my shirt. I was going to my dad's house for a bonfire last night, and my nieces were there, and I was gonna leave them on, and I said my niece is going to college, and she's gonna be his last night here with family. I didn't want to cause any disruption or trouble with her. She's going away, I believe, to be a nurse. So good luck to her. It was awesome seeing the family, Marilyn and Avery and Gabe and Charlie, my brother. So Kim and my dad at their house in Orchard Park did a little bonfire. It was really nice. It was a lot of fun. So I went there after Raphael's. But while I was at Raphael's and I pulled in, it was Friday night, and unfortunately, it was dead. There just nobody was in there. It was around 7:30 I got there, and in stark contrast, my buddy's bar, the BSG down on Southwestern, and those guys over there are doing a great job. They were able to capitalize on the alcohol sales a little bit. While they had all the restaurants closed, and they were able to capitalize and take out. It's tough to take out Italian. I mean, it's just the nature of the business, unfortunately. There were, I think, one or two people that came in and had takeout. But if you haven't gone to Raphael's, it's on Clark Street, corner of Clark and McKinley, right in Hamburg there, just outside the village, right across the fairgrounds. It's a really easy trip to get to, regardless of where you're coming from. If you want to, shoot down, Route 5, go to Mile Strip, or, Big Tree, whatever you want to do, or if you want to take Southwestern out to McKinley and shoot McKinley straight out, I mean, it's worth it, guys. I walked by, I'm just smelling the food, and I couldn't eat because I was going to eat at my dad's house, and but I'm going back out there this Friday. So if anybody wants to join me on Friday, they're welcome to do that. I'm going to take my dad out there. We're going to go, and maybe Kim too, and maybe my brother Charlie and Marilyn. We'll see if everybody wants to go. We'll make a night of it. But the food smelled amazing over there. It was just great. And it was so good to see Ralph and Julie. How we met was with Lancaster Raceway. And I was with Citadel Broadcasting. I was in sales, and I was working with Shred and Reagan, and I was working with Lancaster Raceway. And I got a chance to work with Ralph. And and I'm not going to get into the story now about our relationship, but that's how we met. It was a great relationship. And Anthony, I got to know his son Anthony, who was awesome as well. And we're always having fun. We get to see each other, not enough, but every once in a while we get to see each other. And he reaches out to me on Messenger and through text every once in a while. So he's a busy guy, always busy, just like his dad, just like his mom. So I got to do that, and it was great. But as we were talking, we're sitting there and we're talking, and I'm realizing how well the Buffalo Sports Garden is doing down the road, and how poorly Raphael's is doing. just think to myself, Ralph and Julie had this dream that they had out in Boston for 5 years. They built it. And then for the previous year, up to this 6 months, the restaurant was growing and growing and growing. I mean, the ambiance is great. They did an amazing job decorating inside. Food just smelled incredible out. Next week I'll eat it and then I'll give a review then. But, you know, you have the health department here locally that weaponizes themselves against everybody. Hagarosa, yesterday, you have these Nazis, you have these browncoats, you have these Gestapo, you have these fascists, you have these traitors are what they are. They're treasonous traitors going around and harassing and menacing everybody, every business owner in this county, in this state. And they love the power. They absolutely love the power that they have. They love the control that they have over every small business that's out there, over all of us. Hagarosa, I not wait to get that guy's name. That guy, guys, that was historical. That was legendary. What that guy did, that was epic. Him standing up to the health department and the state and the county in the face of fines, in the face of them telling him that he was going to go to prison. He said no. He said, you know what? Screw you. This is my right to do this. This is my private property. You don't get to infringe upon my constitutional rights. That is a guy that is inspirational. Every person that showed up to Hagarosa, now I don't know how that went yesterday, so if anybody does know, please share that information with me. Share it on my page. But what that guy did was inspirational. I mean, to me, it was amazing and incredible that guy said, you know what? Everybody else talks about it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to actually do it. And he did it. And I don't know how it went. I pray to God it went well. I pray to God that they had the support and our patriots. I put the call out. Everybody put the call out to every patriot that we have to go to Hagarosa, to support that man and what he was doing, Jamboree in the Woods. Everybody put the word out. So, and that was amazing. So let me know how that went. So getting back to Raphael's, we have, and you guys know I have all of these ideas developed. They're all developed. Everything of how to dismantle this. What isn't developed at this point is how to get everybody together to start making these things happen. So many people think it's too big to take apart. At a state level, of course it is. Even at possibly a county level, possibly it is. Even at the federal level, possibly it is. But what have we seen? We have seen that in an instant, things can change. Police departments can alter their behavior. They're not coming out and responding to calls as much as they used to. They're not on the streets harassing and menacing people like they used to. I don't see nearly as many officers out on the highways when I'm traveling. They weren't supposed to be there. That's not within their purview. And Sotomayor and Gorsuch, they championed a law that said no more cash for cops or police for profit. They couldn't do it. And there were several decisions that were rendered that said they cannot use civil asset forfeiture. They cannot steal our property when they arrest us. They can't do that. So change can happen, guys. You can be the catalyst for the change. I can be the catalyst for the change. I can do more. And I'm always trying to do more. So with Raphael's, what I've been, what we started to talk about with Ralph and Dorothy and John, her husband John was there, and Julie was there. We're all talking, and I said, guys, think about the numbers. I said, Hamburg, what's the population in Hamburg? Ralph's like, 56,000. I go, and how many town employees are there? 200, maybe, 250. 56,000 to 250 town employees, including law enforcement. And those 250 people hold everyone hostage. They're holding everyone hostage right now for the past 6 months. And they've held everybody hostage and weaponized their agency against the people for decades. If you do an improvement on your restaurant, more taxes. Health department coming down on you all the time and not doing the things that they should be doing, which was making sure that there aren't any rats and the food is clean and safe and the refrigeration and all that stuff. And they do a little bit of that, but most people are getting paid off. And most restaurants you go to, they're filthy in the kitchen. So the one job the health department should be tasked with, they don't even do. But what does the health department do? The health department's worried about font size on a menu or seating capacity signs on a wall or on a menu or sign size outside. That's what they're concerned about. And then they're going to impose fine after fine after fine on that small business. They've been doing this for decades. What's happening now is only brand new, and they just love that little bit of extra power. Not a little bit, they love the power that they have. They love being able to come in with Erie County sheriffs, guns strapped on them to how many restaurants, I can't even tell you. So now these restaurants are struggling to begin with. They're forcing people to wear masks because if they don't, the health department is going to fine them. They come in secretly. They send people in secretly to spy on them, every single restaurant. So now you have spies in their midst and reporting, and they're being told by government to report on them anything that they do. So now they have to deal with that and the worry and the concern and the fear of that. But now they have to worry about now when their regular patrons are there dining and looking to have a nice experience, that armed Gestapo in the form of the sheriffs are coming in with health inspectors and making sure they're doing everything and harassing and menacing. And the best part is the law enforcement that comes in, they have no idea what they're enforcing. None. Every restaurant owner that I've talked to, they said they have asked the police officers, what am I supposed to be doing? Well, we don't know. That's not the way. We don't have that information. Health department official, what are we supposed to be doing? Well, we don't know. We just know you're supposed to be social distancing here 6 feet and everybody's got to have a mask on within these and you can't do this. Okay, well, but what about these other rules that you're telling and that you're going to give me a fine on? Well, you're going to have to give a call and look into that. Who am I going to call? Because nobody's answering. Nobody's answering. Guys, I don't know how big the health department is, but I got to guess the health department is not much bigger than 100 or 200 people. So just like with the town, Ralph is asking me, Ralph's saying we got to organize. Yes, Ralph, we absolutely have to organize. We have to. We got to do that. But just like a lot of us, when we're doing what we're doing every day, we don't see a lot. We look behind us, and there's not a whole lot of people behind us, are there? We're kind of on our own. So what I told Ralph, I go, he wants JP's to join in, and he wants all these other restaurants and small businesses to join in that are still closed, the gyms, the churches. I go, Ralph, I would love for that to happen. I've worked on it hard. I don't know that we can make that happen. I said, but what we can do is this. And this is how we fix this problem. I go, we make sure we start a group page on Facebook. We make sure we start a YouTube channel and all this stuff is linked. We make sure we have our own website where all these videos are uploaded so that anytime a health department official walks into a restaurant or a small business for any reason ever, the camera goes on instantly. You start filming them. Now, when I work with inspectors in the city, the moment I turn my camera on, guess what? All the lies that they push on you, they change instantly. So now we don't have to have everybody grouped together. All we got to do is have the video rolling. Let's put them on camera. Let's hold them accountable. Right now, they think nobody's going to hold them accountable because for decades, they've been in a position where with 100 people, they've been terrorizing an entire city of small business owners. That's what they've been doing for decades. And now through this, they're terrorizing them even more with spies, the plants that they put into the restaurant, with themselves coming in with surprise visits, with law enforcement coming in with guns. Let's put them on camera. Now guess what? We upload that video to the website. We upload the video to every single social media that there is there, now guess what? Now they're exposed. Now we are together. Now the thousands of us on my page, the hundreds of us on my page, thousands on our page, I mean, not my page, but the groups that we have, all the groups that we have, the thousands of us, small business owners, now we're together. Now we can support one another. The way that Teresa Lowry supported me against one of the guys that you guys know, one of the trolls on my page that comes out all the time. Now we support one another. We put the health department on camera and we put their faces on video, on our pages. Do you think they're going to want to go into Hagarosa then? Do you think they're going to be emboldened and brazen and all confident and strong because they got law enforcement behind them? Because that's the only way they could do anything that they say they want to do is law enforcement. These people don't want to be doxxed. But guess what? We're going to have somebody on all of our pages that's going to know who that person is. And we're going to let everybody know who that person is, which department they work for, how long they've worked for that department. And if necessary, if they continue to do what they're doing, we will let everybody know where they live. And then we will hold a protest in front of their place of business, and we will hold a protest in front of their place and where they live. That is within our right. That is perfectly within our right to do that. Everybody is supporting protests right now. Fauci, he couldn't support protests enough. This is how we castrate and dismantle the health department's ability to attack small business owners. This is how we give the power back to churches. This is how we allow business owners to get their businesses back up and running. Fully, completely, without any rules, without having to comply with draconian rules, with fascist rules, with masks, and all of these nonsense fines. I can tell you what, immediately, once they know we are going to start videotaping them, and we have a centralized source where those videos are going to be put, and their face is going to be on there, guess what? They are cowards. Cowards. They do not want that heat. They're not interested in it. They love being able to do what they can do with the old badge. They think they're untouchable. Think nobody can do anything to them. They don't want to be on video, guys. So Ralph's idea of everybody grouping together, which was all of our ideas, my idea included, trying to get this lawsuit going for all the restaurant owners through Buffalo Barfly, which I don't have any update, guys, and I do really apologize. It sounds like there are a lot of lawsuits going on, but I'll broach that subject either later today if I get a chance or tomorrow. But that's how we dismantle the health department. That's how we make them completely toothless. Just like the Bumble, the Christmas, whatever, the special that there was, right? Yukon Cornelius. Take their teeth out. It's easy to do, guys. These people are cowards. Every time they come into a restaurant, if you want to upload it to my page, let's upload it to my page, our page. We'll start a YouTube channel. It's that easy, guys. We'll call it whatever we call it. We'll start our own website. And, it's going to be a marginal cost to do it. We'll upload the videos to that. We'll upload them to BitChute. We'll upload them to Instagram. We'll do everything and put it everywhere that we have to do. Because now we're going to stand together and stand up against this tyranny, against the lies that we know are lies. If this was a case of trying to protect people, it's a different story. But that's not the case, and it hasn't been the case for months. They lied to us from the very beginning, bend the trend, slow the curve, 10 to 15 days, 5-6 months later, they still want more power. They still want to keep our small businesses shut down. They want to keep our churches shut down, our gyms shut down. They want to do all that while strip clubs are open, liquor stores have been open, abortion clinics have been open, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, supermarkets. Millions of people going to these stores, not one of those employees dying, long before masks were mandated. But they want to keep our small business owners shut down. They want to prevent us from going and gathering. This is how we do this, guys. We will render them useless. Then Cuomo has nowhere to go. We don't even have to worry about, asking law enforcement to be on our side. It seems like a lot of them are. It seems like a lot of us sympathize with our cause. And I've seen it. They have supported us. The actions that they have, the words that they're saying, their demeanor. There are some that don't, but there are a lot that do. A lot that do. And they hate Cuomo. And I've said this before, guys. We need to capture on that momentum of how, all this power that teachers and the law enforcement, how much they hate this guy right now. So if we can use these tools against the health department, these videos, upload them. Then, like I said, we find out where they work, we find out their name, we protest there if necessary. If they want to continue doing what they're doing, we find out where they live and we protest in front of their houses. That's what we do. And these people are such cowards, they're going to stop. Just the way it is. So I think one of the things that I wanted to touch on, somebody had a great idea. I can't remember who posted it on the page, but we just need all gatherings, all concerts, all sporting events, everything we do from now on, call it a protest. Jim Jordan, Fauci would not condemn protests. He would condemn everything else, churches, and he outright lied about saying, I never said anything that had anything closed. He is a piece of garbage. And that's a whole other story. But anyways, we need to just call every gathering that we have a protest. Hey, we're having a protest. Well, you're playing for it's a protest. We're protesting here. Have our signs. That was a great idea. I think that would be amazing to do that. Like, let's just start protesting at all the restaurants that are closed. Let's start protesting at all the gyms that are closed. Let's protest at all the churches that are closed. It's just everything's a protest. So, that was a great idea. I touched on Jim Jordan and what happened with Fauci yesterday. Jim Jordan's amazing. Does a great job calling everybody out in government all the time. When you're in that position, just like Dave DiPietro and Borrello, I forget his first name, but I think that's out in Chautauqua County. These guys, they have a tough job. They have a very, very difficult job. They're on their own. And you think that they're in politics and they know what to do. And they don't. It's a blank canvas, guys. It's an absolute blank canvas. And when you are out there on your own, it's very difficult, especially when you don't have like-minded people there to support you, to support you as a candidate, your constituents, to help and do whatever it is that you can do, or even your fellow assemblymen or senators or council people, whatever position it is that you've got. It's very difficult. I know we think that once these people obtain these positions and this is something else to shine light on what I was talking about earlier. We think that once these people obtain these positions, magically, there's somebody else. They're very enlightened. All this added intelligence that they're there to take care of us. They're still just a person. And they're a person with limited resources and limited energy and limited wherewithal. And that's the way it is. As much as you want to fight as a public servant, it gets very disheartening and disenfranchising. That's the right word, maybe not. But you get very discouraged and disillusioned. There's the word I'm looking for, disillusioned. When you have a vision, when you have a passion, and you're fighting so hard for the people, but then even the people won't support you. And then you're fighting against the establishment. And maybe the media is attacking you a little bit, here and there. Those are difficult things to deal with when you're in politics. So why do I say that? I say it because support the candidates. Do your research on all the candidates, guys. Support those candidates that are coming in and running for office right now against any of the incumbents, and do your research on them. Support them, put their information out, share everything that you can. Gina Kay does an amazing job of that. She makes signs up, she gets signs made up, she holds rallies in front of these politicians' offices who are scumbags. But what you can do is just research, support the candidates that you trust. Share that information on your Facebook page and social media of all these candidates. Even write them a letter and tell them how much you appreciate them, how much you support them, because so many times when you're in politics, you don't get that. You'll get all the hate mail, and there's enough of that going around for everybody, but you don't get those supporting words. So do that. And, Jim Jordan does a great job. A lot of other politicians out there are doing a great job. I'm hopeful this election cycle is going to garner a lot of a red wave, but let's be honest. They've already told us that Harvard economists said that 40 to 60 million votes are going to be stolen this time. He said that. He said 12 to 20 million were stolen against Hillary Clinton. Those are facts. And then the voter fraud that's out there is just going to be rampant. The intimidation that's going to happen at the voting polls, that is just going to be insane, guys. And you go, Pete, well, how do you stop voter fraud? How do you stop, people from coming out and protesting at the election polls and threatening people and harassing people from coming out and voting? You make it a felony, is what you do. If you commit voter fraud of any kind, you spend life in prison. It's that simple. You're going to reduce the amount of voter fraud down to nothing. If you harass or menace any person that's going in to vote and exercising their right to vote, that's a felony. It's very simple, guys. Well, Pete, you're going to overload. No, we're not going to overload the system, because people aren't going to do it. Once they're afraid, if they think they have the laws that are on the books against voter fraud, when they're not going to be applied, and they think you've got, your leaders, your supreme leaders, Cuomo and de Blasio and Poloncarz and Fauci and everybody else across the country and the state, telling you and enabling you and empowering you, saying, protest. It's a healthy form of expression. And they think they get to do whatever they want to whoever they want. They're going to do that. That's exactly what they're going to do. You make it a felony, and the threat of treason or being a traitor by doing that, and actually enforcing the laws that are on the books right now that apply to that, people are going to stop. That's how you do it. So my mother-in-law, Ma, she loves it when I call her Bob. She's like 4 years older than me. So Kim and her sister Heather Bosenhart, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So Heather's awesome. Heather's been passionate, fighting for a long, long, long time, as have been a lot of people. Gay Thompson, and I go through the names, Nancy Orticelli and Erica Case and Taylor Zablonsky, and just all the names of the people that have been fighting so hard for so long against what's been happening. In so many ways they've been fighting. They've been doing an amazing job. But what happens is, and I wanted to mention this to you guys, this is a real story. So what happens is, when you get a movement like we have, the left is so adept at putting plants into these organizations. The Second Amendment of New York 2ANY, I forget what the incarnation of was. Repeal the SAFE Act was another one, and there were a couple other organizations that were out there that were undermined by plants. And what they do is they put these plants in there to monitor and spy on everything, but then they get the membership to question one another. They make accusations, false accusations. That's how they do it. They infiltrate, and sabotage. And that's what happened with this, I can't remember the name of the organization. Nancy Orticelli was a part of it, but that happened there. And then Ralph Galuzzi, 20, 25 years ago, whatever it was, I don't know if you guys remember the ads that were playing on the radio. And they told us that you have the option to go to whatever glass provider you wanted to, that the insurance companies couldn't dictate to you where you went to get your auto glass repaired. And Ralph owned Buys and Auto Glass. Well, the insurance companies were working against him and they were looking for payouts from them. And Ralph said, this is bullshit. Everybody, the law says this. So Ralph created a coalition of glass shop owners. And then what ended up happening was there were plants inside the glass, even that organization, even something as simple and innocuous as that, they had plants there reporting back to the insurance companies. Ralph got fed up and he disbanded it. And then he disbanded his business shortly thereafter. Now all of those same auto glass people that he was trying to advocate for and saying, look guys, we just all want the business, let the customer choose, and that they worked against him. Now they say, Ralph, I wish we would have stood together with you. And that's the point that I'm making here, guys. Stand together. Be mindful and aware of their tactics. We are exposing them, and root those people out when we start to get these organizations going. So my stepmom, Kim Harding, she wants to run for office, political office in Orchard Park. And I support that completely and entirely. That would be amazing for her to do that. And that's what we need, guys. You don't have to be special. You don't have to be exceptional. The way we take this thing apart, the way we take it back, is by occupying each and as many offices as we possibly can in each one of these towns, in each one of these villages, and each one of these cities. Well, Pete, we can't do it. No, of course we can. We can absolutely do it. We have the numbers, guys. We absolutely have the numbers to accomplish this. We can make it happen. So Kim's like, I want to run for office and I want to expose what they're doing, which is great. And she may do that. And she'll have my support. I have a home in Orchard Park. I live in Cheektowaga too, but I'm able to vote in Orchard Park, which is great. And that's what I'm going to do if she does run, and I'll support her in every way that I can. There's not a lot of people that vote, which is sad, but there's not a lot of people that turn out for the vote. Usually like 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 people that turn out for the vote in each one of these towns for councilman positions. Do you think we can't affect that many votes? We have that many votes right here, guys. She wants to run. Guess what? She's a cancer survivor. She's going through treatments right now that are making her sick to her stomach every day, making her lose control of her body, and she wants to run for political office. So if she can do it, we certainly can do it. We just need a little bit of help. We need to be there for one another. We need to support one another. So a lot to cover today. I got through most of what I wanted to. There were a few more things, but I'll cover that. I think Scott and I are meeting over at... There it is, Dorothy. So Moms Lives Matter. Dorothy Carlone, she came up with this, guys. She made all these buttons. And and she gave me the Trump buttons. I mentioned that earlier, Dorothy. I had a conversation, so when you go back and watch it, you could see that. But thank you. It was awesome meeting you and John. It was great. And she came up with those because it's right. They do. And, I've been talking about it. And even Alex Jones now. Alex Jones started talking about it. The women are the ones that are fighting. The women are the ones that I see in my groups, our groups that we're in, that are fighting. There are the men that are fighting there too. There's a lot of men that are fighting as well, but there weren't a lot of men to begin with. And now the men are finally starting to step up to the plate. But, moms' lives absolutely do matter, Dorothy. Love it. Thank you very much. And I did wear it last night. So, You know, these women are great. I mean, these women have 2, 3, 4 kids, husbands, jobs, and they're still fighting. They're like, this is bullshit. And they're out there talking. And Melissa Heinrich, she started something where she mask, I think it was, with a name of each child that was trafficked or unnamed. And Melissa Heinrich, I met her through Holly, and Holly's last name is escaping me right now, but that's who I met at one of the protests, and she's being active. She's doing something. Each one of us can make a difference, guys. And then each one of us that are leading something in a certain category that are making a difference, we come together with that strength and that ambition and that motivation that we have, that inspiration that we have to do whatever it is that we are doing. And we come together and we start to impact even more together as a collective, as a collaborative. So it was a great time sharing my time with you guys this morning. You know, thank you for watching. As always, you know, it's awesome seeing you guys' faces. And if anything does happen later, if you guys do hear anything about what happened at Hagarosa, let me know. I'd love to hear how that went. And enjoy your day. Love you guys. Bye.